You know what's wild? We spend years learning algebra, memorizing historical dates, studying the periodic table, things most of us will never use again. But the one thing that impacts our happiness more than almost anything else is how to have a healthy relationship, and nobody teaches us that. Think about it. We all know what a healthy relationship looks like. Intimacy, security, respect, good communication, and feeling valued are familiar to us. We can spot the red flags too, like constant fighting, contempt, criticism, and hostility. We have all seen these relationships, and many of us have been in them. And when relationships go wrong, they do not just make us sad, they make us physically sick. They can actually damage our health. So it raises an important question. Healthy relationships matter so much? Why does no one teach us how to actually create one? You might be thinking about whether we already teach relationship skills and whether couples therapy counts. And yes, therapy exists and it can be wonderful. But most people come into therapy with patterns so deeply ingrained that changing them feels nearly impossible. It becomes like trying to renovate a house built on a shaky foundation. Some people turn to premarital education, hoping to catch problems before they start. And while this is a good idea, in many cases, it is still too late. By the time you are sitting in premarital counseling, you have already chosen your person. You have already decided this is who you want to spend your life with. And if you chose poorly, no amount of education can fix that. You can learn every communication technique in the world. But if you are with the wrong person, you are simply becoming good at communicating with someone you should not be with. So the real issue is timing. We teach people how to swim after they have jumped into the deep end, and sometimes after they have already started drowning. The way we teach relationship skills misses a few crucial steps. The first step is truly knowing what you want and need in a partner. Not what your parents want, not what looks good on paper, and not what your friends expect, but what you actually need to be happy and healthy. The next step is choosing the right person. This may be the most important decision you ever make. Yet most of us spend less time thinking about this than we do choosing a college or even a car. And the final step is developing and using relationship skills from the very beginning. This does not mean the beginning of marriage or the beginning of a serious relationship. It means the earliest moments, even from your first crush. These skills should be taught before love ever enters the picture. This is why my colleagues and I developed something we call romantic competence. It is a skills-based model that helps people create healthy relationships and avoid unhealthy ones. And the beauty of it is that it works whether you are 13 or 30 or 70. It does not matter if you are single, dating, or married. It does not matter if you are looking for your first relationship or recovering from your last one. Romantic competence is the ability to function adaptively across every part of the relationship process. It includes figuring out what you need, finding the right person, building something healthy, and even leaving relationships that are not serving you. We created this model from decades of relationship research and theory. When we reviewed everything, we found that 3 core skills appeared again and again. These 3 skills form the foundation of romantic competence, and they are insight, mutuality, and emotion regulation. Each one plays a powerful role, and understanding them can change your relationships forever. Insight is the first skill, and it is all about awareness, understanding, and learning. Insight is the ability to see clearly, both in yourself and in your partner. Imagine coming home from work and snapping at your partner for no real reason. Without insight, you might think your partner is being annoying or asking pointless questions. But with insight, you recognize that work stressed you out and you are bringing that energy home. That is insight into yourself. Insight also helps you understand your partner better. Your partner might show up late again, and without insight, you might assume they do not care. But with insight, you remember they are late to everything, even their own birthday party. So it is not about you. It is just who they are. Insight also helps you understand consequences. You may be angry and want to send a nasty text, but insight reminds you that it will make things worse, so you wait. Insight allows you to learn from past patterns too. You might notice that in your last few relationships, you always jumped in too quickly and ignored red flags. With insight, you can slow down next time and pay attention to reality instead of fantasy. Insight also helps you understand what is genuinely right for you in a relationship. Maybe you realize you need strict monogamy or that you are not ready to settle down. Insight provides clarity about your real needs. The next skill is mutuality, which means recognizing that both people in a relationship have needs that matter equally. This seems obvious, but in practice, many people either prioritize themselves or sacrifice themselves completely. Mutuality means you can clearly and directly express what you need. If a stressful family event is coming, instead of hinting or hoping, you openly say you need your partner there for support. Mutuality also means meeting your partner's needs. If morning workouts make your partner feel grounded, even if you prefer morning cuddles, you support them because their well-being matters too. And mutuality means factoring both people's needs into big decisions. If you receive an incredible job offer that requires longer hours, you do not choose alone or resentfully sacrifice. Instead, you talk openly about how to protect your relationship while pursuing your goals. You work together to find solutions that honor both sets of needs. The third skill is emotion regulation, which is about managing your feelings in response to relationship challenges. Relationships bring up joy, love, fear, anger, jealousy, and insecurity. Emotion regulation does not mean ignoring or suppressing emotions. It means handling them so they do not take over your behavior. With this skill, when something difficult happens, you can keep things in perspective. Instead of thinking everything is ruined, you reassure yourself that you can handle it. Emotion regulation helps you sit with discomfort without acting impulsively. If you are waiting anxiously for a text, you resist the urge to send desperate messages. Instead, you acknowledge your anxiety and give yourself space until the moment passes. This skill becomes especially important during breakups. You may feel awful, miss your ex, and want to call them. But emotion regulation helps you remember that the feelings are temporary, and going back to a painful relationship will not help. Emotion regulation creates a space between feeling and acting, allowing better choices. These three skills work beautifully together in real life. Consider a woman who told her partner not to get her anything for her birthday. He took her literally and got her nothing, and she became furious. She actually wanted a gift but expected him to read her mind. If she had used romantic competence, insight would have helped her admit she did want something and reminded her that her partner takes words literally. Mutuality would have helped her clearly ask for the inexpensive necklace she loved. Emotion regulation would have helped her move past the guilt or anxiety of asking. If she had used all three skills, she would have received what she wanted, felt valued, and avoided an unnecessary fight. Research supports this approach. Studies with young girls show that romantic competence leads to greater security, better mental health, and healthier behavior. Even girls who are not in relationships benefited by feeling more confident and avoiding risky situations. We see the same results in young adults. They make better decisions, recognize warning signs earlier, and communicate support more effectively. Their relationships are happier, more stable, and less anxious. Being romantically competent is strongly associated with better relationships and better individual well-being. These skills truly work. So here is the key message. We must stop waiting until relationships are broken to teach people how to fix them. We must stop waiting until someone is committed to the wrong person to teach them what the right person looks like. We need to teach romantic competence early to teenagers, to young adults, and to anyone who might ever want a relationship. Insight, mutuality, and emotion regulation reduce the behaviors that create unhealthy relationships. They reduce fighting, criticism, hostility, and contempt, while building intimacy, security, respect, communication, and a sense of being valued. Imagine if these skills were taught in schools alongside academics. Imagine young people learning how to understand themselves, communicate clearly, manage emotions, and spot red flags. Think of the heartbreak we could prevent and the healthy relationships people could build. These are not just romantic skills, but human skills that improve every relationship in life. So no matter your age or relationship status, ask yourself how your insight is. Do you understand your patterns and needs? Ask yourself how your mutuality is. Can you state what you need and support what your partner needs? And ask yourself how your emotion regulation is. Can you feel your feelings without letting them run the show? The beauty of these skills is that they can always be learned. You can practice them, strengthen them, and improve them. It is never too late to become more romantically competent. And maybe, if enough of us learn these skills, we can create a world where more people know how to love and be loved in healthy, sustaining ways. And that would be something truly beautiful. Thank you.